is going on? What is going on another week? And we are here, your favorites in podcast history. It is Quincy Jones Go, Mac Lowe, Young Baca. This is For the Love of Wrestling Flow Show. What's going on, guys?
What up, man?
I'm good.
I'm a little embarrassed because I'm supposed to be like this gritty guy, and I'm like, hold up, give me 1 second. I need to add more lighting for my podcast. It's a nice balance.
I'm using a light. No lie, like I threw a light on before I invited y'all into the room, so it was like I actually have lighting. So I was like,
well, like I used to sleep behind a gas station, and I'm like, hold on, I need more lighting for my wrestling podcast. It's a crazy time.
Way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you say that, but you're like, oh, I used to use the neon signs and make sure I was looking good and the car mirrors and stuff. Nah, but wrestling, man. Wrestling is, I have to say, it's up and it's down right now.
Yeah, we got some dry spots for sure.
Yeah, and that's why it's weird. I don't know where to go first, but I'll start with some news. And then we can kind of go off there. I don't know if y'all heard about the rumor. I say rumor because one day I'm reporting on it and it's by a certain source, and the next day those people who are involved in the story are like, no, that's not what's going on. Do you hear about WWE and MLW? Supposedly in talks?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, so the creator of the original MLW, and I think he's the current CEO right now, Bauer, he actually had a quote about this. So it seems like there may be something here, but they're just being tight-lipped about it, which, I mean, perfect business, you know what I mean? But he says there's a lot of things that haven't been done since maybe the 70s with interpromotional matches and stuff. We, of course, would be intrigued by it, but we have to look and see what's the long-term strategy. Does it align with our goals? Does it align with their goals? Does it serve the fans, company, and talent to the best of its ability? Or is it just a quick transactional thing and you're just looking for the clout and the headlines? Which I was like, you know what? I like that he's entertaining that. You know what I mean? For me, I look at this and go, quote, I'm not even done with my media rights deals. I know the evaluation of my company is only going to go up. I'm not interested in selling, and I'm not having any conversations about selling. So that's step one. So that already kind of cuts out a lot of the what ifs, because we were kind of wondering what this was going to be like. Because I kind of liken this to, and I know it's probably a little bit lesser known for you, Baca, because I know it's harder to follow this, but there's an indie called Evolve.
Man, I know Evolve.
Okay, cool.
Come on, man.
No. So some people
don't. Quincy.
Some people
don't. You see the disrespect, Mac? I said, talking like I'm a kid,
You know, when you're the champ, you get to address the public how you want.
When you're the head of the table, you can do whatever you want, right?
But you know
$1 million
what?
worth of pyro.
Yeah, I say it, they print it. God damn it. But yeah, so they treated Evolve kind of the same way, right? Where they were getting their like they almost were like the new feeder system for NXT, and they ended up buying them out like I think a year or two ago. So interesting enough, he ain't looking to sell. So I'm wondering what this is going to do.
Well, the fact that he says, I don't know if they're going to use us just for clout, like, calm down.
No.
Chill out a little bit.
No. He's saying in terms of like, are we doing this as a long-term benefit, or is it going to look like this is just a transactional thing for us to like piggyback?
I always think when these independent companies start up, these independent wrestling companies, the ultimate goal is to either compete with WWE or to get bought out by WWE, correct?
I mean, as an indie, you're not going to compete.
You're not going to compete.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you love to be bought out by WWE?
And become like a feeder?
I don't know, because, I mean...
I'm sure that dude that Evolve, that invented Evolve is sitting pretty right now.
Because I tell you like this, like... he may be sitting pretty. He probably got some money behind it. I'm not saying that's not the worst thing at all. But when you love something like that and you build it, you know what I mean, like brick by brick. Because I would say that, I mean, is the original owner or some of the company heads or any of the brass originally in Evolve, are they still involved in the product? Because we don't even see it.
Right.
It's being, I think, streamed on the network, but like no one's looking for it. At least I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Evolve is a real mom and pop situation
exactly.
too.
Yeah,
really
and another interesting quote he says, right now in wrestling, everything is fluid. The biggest goal I have right now is how do I maximize the awareness for the company so we're not the best kept secret in the game anymore. And again, I was like, that's another smart, you know what I mean? A lot of people, they're just like, oh, we can get the WWE rub. You know what I mean? I'm like, these are actually really good.
I don't know, man.
I mean, and you think about it, they just actually scored their first major TV deal with Vice, and I think this is their second or third week. It's actually coming on today at noon. But
so maybe you don't take it when you get a TV deal because you want to see how far you can take it yourself.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I'm like, I mean, he just said the media rights deal.
What channel is Vice on? Where you live?
I couldn't tell you the number, but I have it under my favorites list. No, I watch.
I rock with Vice.
They got Dark Side of the Ring. They got Fuck That's Delicious. They got.
Funny enough, I watch all the Vice stuff that I watch after the fact, though. I have to go back and find it. I don't normally watch it on Vice.
All the Vice stuff I watch it on YouTube. All the Vice stuff is on YouTube.
You know what? Hey, Vice has been good about that. Like they leaked the whole Brian Pillman Part 1 last week. So yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting to bring this up. At least we have like some actual narrative or some dialogue to go with what's going on from a reputable source coming from the actual guy behind MLW. So yeah, I mean the only thing I could think of off rip is like, let's get Fatu in there and see who the real head of the table. Because like I looked at the I forgot what the breakdown is, but he's another cousin, obviously. Yeah. But when I looked. He's like a direct cousin to Roman because his dad is either brothers or cousins with Roman's actual dad. So it's not like a distance type of thing. Like I think the Usos are second cousins, but the same age, whatever. But yeah, man, let's get it popping. I'm trying to see.
I like the crossovers, man. I like the crossover. It reminds me of when I was a kid, even now, honestly. But everybody always like clamoring over like who's better, Iron Man or Batman. You know what I mean? And so you have that Marvel versus DC conversation. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
but you know it can never happen.
I was gonna say you don't have a realistic forum to see it, but then that's
what makes these things they could
special.
Literally just put it together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at it.
But who do you think is going over in that situation? WWE?
I think it depends. I think it depends.
I think it'll be a situation of Jacob Fatu still looking great losing,
in that situation for
or
sure,
a DQ where like maybe like everything's going crazy, like they have to call the match off, and he's just like contra unit hits, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Yeah, but there's places where you can put their mid card guys versus these mid card guys and have them kind of mismatched to kind of show some equality. You know,
and you know what? Like on the surface, when I first heard about the news, I was thinking, well, there's some people they could send over there that I think would get a good look being in the ring with someone other than the same person we see him fighting and shit. Because it's like week. For instance, Jinder Mahal came back, right? Ain't nobody cared, anybody heard of it. Why? Because it was on Main Event. You know who else? You know who we faced? Jeff Hardy. So you know where Jeff Hardy's going.
And he went over on Jeff Hardy, right?
Yeah, but he has exactly. But he has a new stable. And he has a new stable with. Yeah, he got two new dudes with him. Yeah, like the like big dudes. Nah, everyone's like, oh, the Bollywood dudes took that creatine and they on some other. Yeah, they.
You know, it's funny. I seen the Bollywood dudes on Twitter randomly. I was scrolling and there was a clip of them like still getting their whole Bollywood.
Oh, they still doing it. Yeah, it's on,
like, yo,
it's on 205,
and I haven't seen this in 2 years.
I mean, when you think about it, there's no crowd, so no one is seeing this shit. Yeah. Like, because I'm like, are we really using the Thunderdome on 205 Live? Is anyone really like sitting in the queue? Like, oh, register for 205. Yeah,
no.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I be feeling bad. Like, even not to go all the way forward, but like even when Jimmy came back, I noticed he was like, oh, he went straight to the fans. Ain't nobody there, but I love it. I love him for it because he's committed. But yeah, some stuff you're like, nah, like maybe you shouldn't do the Swanton since no one's there to see it. Like maybe not do that. Like, you know what I mean? Next piece of news
what was your experience with the Thunderdome, Quincy?
It honestly was real easy because they keep sending me emails to register now. like you want to be on Raw? I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. But it literally, they send you an email to register. You click the register link, you fill out the info, and then they send you either a confirmation or they'll let you know if you're on standby. I got a confirmation immediately, and it told me like what time my check-in was. Mm-hmm. And I guess how they do it is, you're not there for the whole show, because when I saw my check-in was like 6:45, and I was talking to Brian about it. I was like, yo, that's like the last 15 minutes of the show on the East Coast. You know what I mean? Because they're like 5 to 7. So I was like, oh shit, this is the main event spot. But I wasn't able to get in. They were like, oh, we can't find a seat. I'm like, this is not even real.
It's like, you can't find a seat.
You mean you can't find you can't fit me in the Zoom call?
Yeah,
you can't put me in the Zoom call.
There's no LEDs. There's no available LEDs for you.
I was like, man, that's what happens when Roman and them start fighting all the way up to the crowds and shit, and start messing with all the optics and whatnot. But
somebody got speared through your LED spot, bro.
Dude, yeah. You know what? Now that makes sense. It makes sense. You know what? Another piece of news here. I wanted to get y'all take on this. Mark Henry's actually training for one last match.
I don't know. It's gonna come out in a salmon suit again.
Two things.
He brings that up. Well, let me set the precursor real quick. He first brought this up on his show, talking about Walter. He was saying that, you know what, I'd be interested to try to get in the ring with Walter to give him a win. That's
sure Walter's excited about that.
No, we'll think about it though. Like, Walter is nowhere near as hot in the US as he once was. When the hype came on him when he first came to PWG.
Well, that's because of COVID, man.
No.
Also, Mark Henry.
I think COVID had a lot to do with it.
No, it ain't about COVID. That's the fact that he's only on WWE UK,
and
nobody watches.
But Mark Henry is not the dude. Nobody's gonna say, I don't know who Walter is. Who's this guy that beat Mark Henry? Like, that's not how that works.
I don't know if he's like, oh, it's gonna be synonymous after this, but he was just saying, like, he notices, like, yo, this guy is, he has a soft spot for the big dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's so cool. He's like saying, like, I feel like he should be higher than where he is right now, because if you remember, he was actually picked to be part of the NXT Survivor Series team. He ain't done shit since. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was in and out that match like a Samoa Joe Survivor Series spot. So it was one of those things where I think he was like, he thinks he can help him by giving him a really big win against someone like the world's strongest man. I'm not mad at it, but I don't know if he's really looking for him, because he's here saying that he's already in shape. He's 80 pounds lighter. He feels like, he makes a pretty good deal here, because he says he didn't get that match where you go and pay tribute to the fans and you go and wrestle somebody that's up and coming, that's talented, and you give him what we call the rub, as he says.
Okay,
and
that's cool.
He says he feels guilty for not doing that.
Oh yeah, Mark Henry, we definitely needed that rub from you to put
Well, let me ask you this though.
Some people just think so high of themselves. It doesn't make sense.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Talk about it.
Mark Henry,
listen.
Hold on. We're talking about the Attitude Era original.
No, listen. You remember when there's a famously viral clip of Draymond Green telling Paul Pierce, "You thought you was about to get a parade? You ain't Kobe. We don't love you like that."
They don't love like that. You thought you were going to get a Thor. You thought you were going to get a goodbye Thor. You ain't Kobe. They don't love you like that. Bro. Except Mac.
I don't know, man.
That's why you on the show, Mac.
Bro, I gotta pull a flag on it. I gotta pull a flag on the play.
Like, oh yeah, I want to get somebody to rub. But in actuality, he just wants his parade. He just wants the people to. But this is my thing. But this is my thing. I'm not mad.
Hold on. But you're talking about a guy that wants to come back to lose. How many people can we say is doing that?
That's what he said.
No. But see, that's what he
said.
But this is what he's saying.
Thank you. We salute you. Hall of Fame. Thank you for everything.
Baka. Because I know you. Because you do a good job of making it seem like you know what you're talking about, but you're out of your element here. Mark Henry, you cannot tell me. Go back. You quoted it. Go watch the Salmon Jacket promo. You gonna tell me he wasn't over? You gonna tell me the people didn't like him?
That's the hottest he ever was.
Really? So he wasn't.
There's no lie about that.
Really?
And the second hottest he ever was is when he was banging an 85-year-old chick.
No. When he was beating Randy Orton for the first world title, he wasn't hot. When he beat the Undertaker for his second world title, he wasn't hot. When he was sexual chocolate, I'll give him that. But look, all I'm saying is,
I think you have a black bias, which I understand. I'm all for it, but
no. I'm just saying, y'all are
talking about Mark Henry coming back.
Y'all talking about Mark Henry.
It must be a slow news week, man.
Y'all talking about Mark Henry like Baka. We're not talking about D'Lo Brown. We're not talking about any of your favorite. We're not talking about. We're not talking about Dom Mysterio. You're talking
one level above D'Lo.
No, we're not. Are you serious?
One level, bro. I know you're not comparing Mysterio to Mark Henry.
bro.
In the Mexican
Dom Mysterio,
Southern California.
Dom Mysterio.
No, I'm talking about Rey Mysterio.
No, I didn't say.
I didn't say Dom. Okay,
I said Dom
Mysterio. We're not going to disrespect
but what I'm
this
saying
is still
is,
a Mexican black household.
Hold on, because you're taking this way out of like this is
I think you have a little bias, which I understand. You know, I'm all for the black wrestlers.
It's really back in,
shut
guys.
the fuck up and let me talk.
Really
because all you're doing, this is your opinion. You don't even watch wrestling full time.
No, I watch wrestling.
No, you're not full time, bro.
I've been watching wrestling my whole life. Whole life I've been watching wrestling.
How many times have you sat here and said, I don't even watch wrestling, but this nigga Quincy get mad at me all the time?
No.
You say it all the
time.
There is
times.
Oh, but on the B-side show, I'm singing about it. But
there is
all I'm saying, hold on.
It's too much for me to handle. When it's a 3-hour wall,
all I'm saying is you're telling me that a guy like Keith Lee wouldn't benefit from
that's different. That makes more sense.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be Walter. That's what my biggest concern was. It's like,
okay,
it could be someone that it could even be Bobby Lashley. It would give
look at it like this.
You know what I'm saying? But because of the fact that Hurt Business, Nation of Domination, there is
that makes more sense.
That's dope,
exactly.
That makes more sense.
But that's not what he said though.
No, I didn't even read the whole quote. I didn't even read the whole quote.
All right.
He was busy telling me how sorry he was.
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, man.
But check it out.
He's not a first round?
Not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Absolutely not.
Compared to who else is left?
He is.
I was gonna say compared to who else is
left.
left.
First ballot, man. So then we're just letting everybody in then.
Bro, I would rather take Mark Henry over Big Show any day.
Big Show had a big influence.
I would.
Big Show had a big influence on the wrestling.
No, he had a big influence on babyface and heel turns. That's what he did.
For the Nation,
when he came in, it was a
Hall of Fame status.
The reason I say this is because, bro, this is a guy he's like one of the last guys.
Do we think that Nation of Domination is going to make the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So when's that going to happen?
Bro,
they've been gone for 25 years.
Bro, well, you know what? It's funny you say that because they're actually they got a reunion in Qatar, pro wrestling.
Nice.
I don't know which incarnation of it is. They were talking about it on Booker T show.
And all those guys.
But I was laughing.
All of them except The Rock.
Well, I was laughing
all of them except The Rock.
Because they were like, "Oh, is Ahmed gonna be there?" I'm like, "Nah, we don't accept Ahmed in the Nation of Domination." Nah. I was like, "Nah, that was a one and done and a big mistake." I'm like, God damn.
I am on my way after this. I'm going to a picnic. Shout out to my nephew's birthday. I already have my outfit. I already have my outfit picked out. It is a Black Wrestling Podcast hoodie or crew neck. It's the Nation of Domination. So I'm gonna wear it. I love that hoodie. I love that crew neck. It has Mark Henry on it. I understand who Mark Henry is and where he sits as far as wrestling, especially for us, because it wasn't a whole lot of us growing up to watch. I was just laughing with my pops the other day because I was like the commercial for the Booker T
I saw that.
Right. So I was like, yo, I remember very specifically being a fan of the Harlem Heat and watching Monday nights, waiting for them because it was like. And I didn't know why. I was just a little kid, but I didn't understand that the reason why I wanted to see them so badly,
they look like me. Yeah.
Yes. So I
representation,
I But with that being said, today, right now, in this climate right now, in May 2021, if Mark Henry popped up on my TV, there's not a big pop there. I'm not really super hyped to see that.
I think it matters what it is. Like, I think it depends on what it's in the middle of.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm gonna jump out my seat, but
no.
I mean, this is a former world heavyweight champion.
In the situation where you explained it, where it's like they draw some parallels between the Nation and the Hurt Business, I could rock with that, right? Because from what I've seen of Mark Henry outside of the ring, he constantly puts himself in a position where he's kind of like. He's trying to make you respect his line. He's trying to make you respect what he did. Like he's trying to make you check with him. He's trying to put himself in an OG situation.
Are you saying like he's more? You think he's like he puts himself over more than getting
a little bit?
Okay.
And he paints it like he's doing somebody a favor, but he really just wants credit.
He wants his flowers, man.
I mean, I think like the situation with this short and sweet. I just think it 100% matters what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a home run no matter what. Because if he were to come out there for, I don't fucking know, fucking, I don't know, the New Day or something, or say like if it was Omos, like, you know, oh, no one can, you know, I'm not gonna, like, it would be interesting, yeah, like, oh, how's this gonna play out? But you know what I mean? Like, I don't expect him to come back for a world heavyweight championship match. But I think in the scope of if he feels healthy and he feels like he can give something back like that, I'm not mad at him for wanting to do so. But if the caveat is like you're saying, it's just more or less an ornament that he can hang up on his Christmas tree, you know, of his career. Yeah, then you know. But
I put it to you like this: if he came back and was on Talking Smack, or not Talking Smack because this is a Raw thing. So let's say he was on Raw Talk, right?
Yeah.
And then he pops up on there and he's like, talking about how he likes the Hurt Business. He likes what they doing. And he speaks on how he paved the way. And then, but he's talking like giving them kudos.
Yeah.
And then MVP comes out and says, yo, we doing our own thing. I respect you, OG, but this is something different.
Like I did this. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just enough to start a little bit of a fire. A couple of weeks, Mark Henry comes out for whatever reason. They find something that they're doing promotion-wise to have him come out there and be talking. And then they come out and have that conversation in a promo. And then at the some minor pay-per-view, you get Mark Henry coming out of retirement to maybe they do like a arm wrestling thing or
I can see
a
something
truck
like
pull
that.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's like the Almighty. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was gonna say like
some strength type thing,
like,
and then they have a little match. That would be dope.
I was gonna say like I could see him having like a match on the go home before like a major.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could even see Bobby being so sure they're like, you know what, I'm gonna put the title on the line, and okay, to add a little bit of sizzle to the steak.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna win though. You know what I mean? But yeah,
he ain't gonna win.
I think, like I said, like it really depends on what it is, who it is. Am I in a rush to see it? Nah. But it was interesting to me, like the fact that he was like, man, I'm already shredding weight. I'm like, hey, you probably should have already been, but that's good. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just different for me because I've seen how he moved in some personal situations.
No, yeah. I was gonna say it's weird because like on one end he'd be like, you know, you hear him talk, he'd be on Hulk's head, right? About you, but then on the other end you'd be like, oh, but you rock with that nigga though, like
okay. And so a lot of times he says stuff. Him and Booker get on my nerves.
What's that Texas in him?
It's
Texas. Booker for real. Yeah, Booker.
What is Booker 2 specifically that gets on your nerves?
He just because I think Booker is more guilty of what you said about Mark, where he's like he like his show, the Hall of Fame is like
he definitely
it's the Hall of Fame of Booker T. Like
he definitely does
like he'll sit there like, oh yeah, that was a good idea. Who thought that? Oh yeah, that was my idea. I'm like, bro, like
hey man, he had his #1 single in the country.
Who,
and all
Booker?
he had to do was stand like this, man.
I mean, I don't know if he had it, but you know.
No, that wasn't him.
I mean, if anything, like I think WWE got paid because of the Booker T theme song in there. Because they have like a little
for the sample.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, it's funny, but you know, John Cena gets away from not paying AOP for years, but it's cool. Dude, like I remember everyone was hitting them up like, yo, did y'all, like people were like, hey, I thought that was dope, y'all let him use this, and they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, so y'all stole that.
You know how many times I had to break it down to somebody like, oh, what is that they say at the beginning of the John Cena song? And then I'm like, it has nothing to do with John Cena. It's actually like one of the homies that passed away from the MOP crew.
Well, you should break it down for the people listening that don't know.
So one of the homies, MOP had a homeboy that passed away, and he did a dedication track, and that was his name. I don't want to butcher it or say it wrong, so I'm not gonna try to say it. But they yelled his name out at the beginning of the song, and that became almost synonymous with MOP. So now when they do songs, a lot of times at the intro, they'll yell that name out as a tribute to the homie.
That's dope because I just, you know, a lot of people that they have like their own language and stuff, their own slang. Right. So I thought that's what they was doing, but to know that that's dope. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
What do they yell out?
It's his name. It's actually his name. It's like, I don't want to say it wrong, but I don't remember. I don't know what it is. But it's his homie's name.
It's
so
they yell his
Cena. Name and so then it got put on the beginning of a John Cena song, and so now they kind of felt like
And you know what? You know Cena knows that he put that on there, bro.
For sure.
Because it's like who in WWE listens to Annie Up by
Come on, dog.
The Match Out Posse. Yeah, that's good stuff. Like, no, like he'll try to use that
Jack
for a
that fool.
Billy Dance. Oh, okay. Oh, I like this. All right.
Kidnap that fool.
Hey, Hunter, did you know there's a remix with a Remy Ma? Like, it's just like, nah. Oh man. It's still funny to me though, because it's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, he got away with that. Like, I mean, he was a huge hip hop fan, but Baka, this is for you, man. This is
trying to listen to what they say.
It's right in the beginning.
I listened to it a couple times. I can't figure it out.
It's his name. It's literally their homeboy's name.
It sounds like Effanu or Effalu.
I can't remember his name. Yeah. I'll Google it for you though. Before we get done.
I got this news for Baka here, because this is he's gonna be right in the hot water right here. We got a Mexican pro wrestler who's in hot water for saying stuff about Black Lives Matter. So I thought I'd let you tackle this one, Baka.
Okay. Because I go both sides, right? Mexican.
Well, I know you're all about the equality here, but this is from the former Sin Cara. Not the first one, the second one, the one that they kept. But they ended up letting go. But he was detailing his frustrations with what they called the lack of prominent Latino representation in WWE. He says, quote, "I never wanted to get into this conversation, but I feel like we need to now. It's true with everything that was going on in the world. The Latinos or Mexicanos can never really join forces to do something powerful. It's always been other people. You can always see what's happened nowadays when the Black Lives Matter movement started. It was great to see them all join together and do something positive for everybody and for the community. And when that happened in WWE, everybody was champion, right? Bobby Lashley, New Day, all those guys, which is great. They're good friends of mine and I love them. But what about us? We want a shot. We want an opportunity."
Yeah.
You think is that his
You know what? This isn't the first time that somebody said that. I was talking to a friend who doesn't watch wrestling, who makes fun of me for watching wrestling. And I said, dude, there's so much representation right now. We have this person's tag team champion, this person's the heavyweight champion, this person's the women's champion. And he said, why do you think that is? I said, oh, it's 2021. He said, no, because WWE knows that Black Lives Matters is hot right now. So they're trying to capitalize on that. Is that what you think is going on, Quincy?
I don't think specifically, no. I think that in a way to get ahead of the perception, because let's be real, the perception for WWE pertaining to representation, whether it be Mexicano or, African American, it's been spotty, you know what I'm saying? And if they do let them do something, it's got to be stereotypical crime time. We got to do, or in the other instance, we got to, white him up a little bit with Kerwin White, with Chavo Guerrero, you know what I mean?
What about Eddie Guerrero? He went back to school to get his GED.
Well, I was gonna say Eddie Guerrero though, like with him with the Lolos, that's a little different because that's him. The
Lolos is one thing. Having a storyline of him going back to school to get his GED, that's a different thing.
Well, I mean, what do you think about the whole thing with Dominic too, though? You know what I mean? With this whole like
illegitimate son.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I was thinking about that. I was thinking about they brought in the Mexicools with Super Crazy and Psychosis. Like all these guys that were like, huge luchadors, and then they got them riding on Juan Deere tractors to the ring and you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, they already don't have a great track record. So I think with the fact that they already had a rogue ass Jackson Riker write some stupid shit. I think this is an effort for them to be like, no, this is not how we feel, or at least perceive it.
Yep.
That that's not how they feel. But I think also it kind of benefited because I feel like they allowed some people to get some opportunities, and in turn they are actually able to see, oh shit, they actually took the ball and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think it's entirely, Black Lives Matter. Let's make people, let's do something. So when people, I think this is what it is. People are surrounded by all this hate. Every time they turn on the TV, they go outside. It's stressful. There's all this crap going on.
Yeah.
When they tune into us for 3 hours, let's give them a reason to not be reminded by that. You know what I mean? I think I could be wrong. WWE, they've definitely done some shady shit, but me personally, being a black fan, I haven't looked at it that way. But then again, it could be biased because like Mac was saying, Harlem Heat, like even Ahmed Johnson, he didn't have the best promo, but I was excited to see him because there was nobody else on WWF at the time that was doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's even funnier. Like, before I knew who Ron Simmons is, Farouk comes in. I'm like, yo, who is this black gladiator ass dude? Like, this is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just whack. So it's like when Ahmed came in, it was like, oh, okay, the cool one's here. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, so I think for me personally, I could be wrong. I like to hear what you guys think. I don't think it's necessarily a full blown. I think maybe haphazardly, that's probably what it started as, but I think they were genuinely surprised by the fact that, look, I mean, they got a bunch of minorities carrying their championships, representing their company.
More than ever, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The blackest wrestling's ever been.
We're gonna keep it funky about the situation right now in WWE, and the fact that it's people of color that are carrying that company right 100%. Now,
bro. I mean, and even before they got the championships too, like Hurt Business, they've been carrying Raw before they even got it
Raw for a long time.
Yeah, this is a moment. This is a moment in time that's gonna get swept under the rug because of the situation. Yeah, but when the pandemic first started and they were doing empty arena joints, the best thing WWE had was Zelina Vega and her little crew that she had at the time.
I was about to say it was them and Hurt Business for sure.
That's it.
Bro, they were getting like sometimes more than one match
because they was the only ones who the only ones who could take up, like, okay, you got 10 minutes, do what you got to do. And
we're gonna make this 10
fill
minutes.
That time with Garza and with El Idolo, and they will figure it out. But them stories of with Zelina, the Hurt Business, Street Profits, and Bianca had a little bit of a time in there.
Yeah.
But when the pandemic first happened, and they had to hit the eject button and just figure it out, it was Bayley and Sasha and Zelina and her crew and the Street Profits that carried it, bro. And that was it.
And this is this before Roman came back too?
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, because Roman didn't come back to like what, SummerSlam?
Yep.
Yeah, man. And then, you know,
he was gone for a long time, man. He was gone for a long time.
And he wasn't there for none of the empty shows.
But I gotta give not just Roman credit, but like, you know, him and Jay too. They what, like 2 or 3 pay-per-views they stretched out?
Yeah, they carried it for a couple of months.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
And like
you know, we forget about it now.
I was just gonna say, how are you able to, like, in a pandemic era, you're still able to go out there and have like a match of the year type shit? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Emotional. When you have those emotional matches, you feed off crowd. For you to do that with no crowd is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a lot of shitty like stuff that happened last year with, like, you know, the fact that they did the Money in the Bank. You know, they totally like made it like into a movie.
Yeah, that was weird.
Remember? Yeah, dude, it was weird. That was weird. We had like the Eye for an Eye match. I mean, what the Swamp Fight match, but there was a lot of gems.
Yeah,
like match wise,
sure.
Like,
because you could see that they were trying to figure out how they were gonna deal with the situation. Are we gonna do more cinematic stuff or not? And I think
because no lie, like when they did the Money in the Bank cinematic right after Mania, I was like, oh, y'all doing too much. Like, y'all need to just leave it.
I couldn't really tap in.
And then remember, they fired people. They were like, climb the corporate ladder. I'm like, y'all some assholes, man.
Yeah,
y'all some assholes. Everybody that y'all fired was trying to climb that ladder, and you just kicked them off. And then Rey Mysterio got thrown over the building, right?
And just came back the next night, like, I'm fine. It's all good.
Nah, I'm Rey Mysterio.
That's that blood, man. That ass.
He's
different,
like,
man.
You ain't heard about Rey Mysterio? Yeah, I got more than 9 lives. Yeah, I always land on my feet, man.
Him and who else? It was Aleister Black that got tossed off the side.
Yeah, you know what? How y'all feeling about with I mean, obviously he's been making some sort of comeback with these vignettes. How y'all been feeling about the vignettes? I'm not mad at it. I feel like we've been here before with different characters, but
I think we've been here before with him. It's you know, when he first came to the main roster, he was so promising, and they just blew it. So I don't really have a lot of faith.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, what messed it up for me was the fact that I'm like, yo, why does it keep pronouncing his K sounds like that? Like, he's
so hard. Very hard.
I'm like, ooh, I don't like that.
Hard. I don't know what you're doing with those.
It's like I don't like. I was gonna say he's 2 cuz away from getting off my TV. That's the shit.
It's better to have a hard K than it is to have a hard R. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's man. I don't know.
They might be equal.
I was gonna say that hard R might be a direct product out of that hard K.
But can I just say I'm not a fan of vignettes because 2 things happen. 1, the vignette is really good, and then the person comes out and they don't live up to the vignette. Or 2, the vignettes are trash, and it doesn't really paint the picture, and you have to watch it for 3 or 4 weeks over and over They just keep, so when the person comes out, you're already over it.
For me, wouldn't the most, I guess, instant satisfaction for him to come back and make that instant impact would just to be like, I mean, he could have been like he could have came through during the Universal title match and kicked Daniel Bryan's head off, right?
Bro, that's it. I don't know why. I don't understand what's so hard about that.
Like, and he could have
no video, just come out randomly, because what's going to happen? Wrestling fans, we're doing it right now. We are projecting the future. We already know what's going to happen on Monday and Friday.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So just come out, surprise me.
I think that's what's been my frustration with wrestling is like, you'll hear stuff and you're like, all right, well, if they're going to get there, I want to see. This is
how they're going to get
there. They got to keep me there for the whole journey. Like, I don't want to because that's what happens a lot, especially back in the day with Roman. You would hear, oh, it's about to be a shoe-in for Roman and Brock again. You're like, man, are they going to at least do something different? So you would actually waste your time trying to, stick with the ride to see if they're going to do something at least cool to make you interested. And then you're like, God damn, they just did everything to script. Like, come on,
we all know the formulaic way that it works.
Yeah.
So throw a wrench in that. And 100%. Instead of having video vignettes, have him just walk down to the ring and then somebody say, oh my God, is that Aleister Black? That's all we need. And
especially
then he slide in the ring.
You got Pat McAfee on commentary. He would have sold it. Yeah, he would have sold it.
Slide in the ring, kick somebody's head off and leave. And then put out a video to explain this new character. Because now we're excited about it.
Because now
instead of going the other way.
Yeah, because you're not creating excitement. I mean, there's excitement in the fact, okay, when I saw him back on SmackDown, I'm like, oh shit. Initially, right? He's been gone for so long. But you can't tell me if he wouldn't have done that, and then they played that video, that I would have been excited for the next time.
Now you're invested in the video.
I'm like, okay, so I'll watch the video. I just want to know the next time he finna show up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's it's so weird. But like, we all know the month, we know how, like if they told us right now, hey, we got 2 guys that we want to have a pay-per-view with at the end of the month. We got 3 weeks. What are we gonna do? What they gonna do, bro? They're gonna have them 2 dudes meet up, have a promo talking about how they respect each other, right? Next week, they're gonna have a tag team match. And the tag team match is gonna go south because one of them is
they can't be on the same page.
Yep. Now the next week they're gonna say that was your fault. No, that was your fault. And now they mad at each other. And now we can have right before the go home show, it's gonna be a pull apart. They're gonna be about to fight each other. We're gonna send a whole lot of them down there, break each other apart, and then they're gonna have the match. Like we do this all the time. We know that's coming. So give me something different.
Give me, or like maybe just update an old trope, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we did bring up Daniel Bryan, so I wanted to bring this up because do y'all believe he's really gone? Because there's been it's been weird reports. Because
this is fun for me because I can't tell.
Because I think that's the best part. Because I first read that his contract wasn't up till August this year. And then a week goes by and they're like, nope, it's expired. I'm like, hold up. That's like a whole 4 months away, 3 months away. Like what, you know what I mean? So I did get some information on it. Again, who knows what they're feeding to the media, right? So it says that people within the company heard the news that Bryan was not intending to stay with WWE. So that it's weird. So it's almost like, it's not that he necessarily allowed it or he purposely, like, it sounds like he let it expire because he didn't plan on re-signing. You know what I mean? But they're saying that a lot of people heard through the grapevine over the last couple weeks instead of hearing it directly from him, which, hey, man, it ain't his business to fucking tell anybody. But it says as far as the reaction.
But it is don't you think ethically it's the right thing to do if you say, hey, guys, I don't have any intention of re-signing, so then they can figure out what to do, or you just say, fuck it?
I say you say fuck it, put on a salmon colored jacket.
I don't think you burn your bridges because WWE they dropped the ball on a lot of stuff with Daniel Bryan, but it also gave him some of the best moments of his life. The least you could do is go to old man's office and say, "I want to be mad."
No. Okay,
no. He would definitely go say like, "Hey, me and Bree talked about it, and we want to do X, Y, and Z." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He seems like the type of dude.
I think this is more pertaining to like the roster. Because I'm sure he definitely had a talk with like brass and shit. You know what I mean? Like as far as like management, but I mean, look, I'll give WWE their due, but it's because they're so goddamn stubborn. They had to wait until the whole world told them to fucking this is the guy for them to actually pull the trigger. I was like, God damn, you guys are so like Vince is just like, you know what I mean? Like I get it. Like, hey, if he's not the champion I see for my company. I'm like, yeah, but he could be the new fucking guy
But was that the first? You know what I mean? I think Bryan was the first like small champion, right? Like he was like
Bret Hart would be considered.
I hear what you're saying.
As far as like that type, the small guy,
it's a little different, man. Yeah.
In that like era, I would say so because he had to beat Triple H, Batista, and fucking Randy Orton all over 6 foot. So it's like yeah. But they said that a lot of people in the company don't believe he's going to sign with AEW. I don't think so. I mean, a lot of people think he's going to re-sign with WWE. But a lot of people, or I should say a few people, are thinking he may be going back to Ring of Honor because I heard ROH made an offer to him to bring him back.
What was this? There was a list that came out that had like a bunch of people on like, it was like boxes checked for people that need to have matches with Daniel Bryan. I don't know if it was supposed to be a list that he made or.
Yeah, I'm wondering about, because I know what Cody did that, Jay Lethal did that before as well.
But I have a list of guys I want to fight as well.
Yeah,
I think after Quincy told me to shut the fuck up, you might go on that list as well.
I might go on the list, but can I go last?
I think that's going to be the name of the episode. Baka, shut the fuck up.
can I go last and then
when you're all tired?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I got Aleister Black, kick your head off. No.
Yeah, but I think Daniel's the type of guy. I feel like he's got his bread right. He's made his loot. His girl is there. He got his kids. Like. He's solid, you know what I'm saying? So it's not
and
about.
He's like minimalist, doesn't need the big change.
And he's a minimal dude. He's a real chill guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's like,
that's
hey, yo, check out
he's
the
a real,
100% real dog,
grounded type of guy. So for me, I think he's not chasing the bag at this point.
Yeah,
he's not chasing career longevity. Yeah. He's more so just chasing fulfillment. This is something that he really loves.
That's what I was. That's what I was talking to my brother about too.
Yeah, that's why I think that list that I saw, I don't remember. I can't remember if I read it as.
I no lie. It might be some fan made shit because it's
probably some fan.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But it kind of painted that picture in my mind. It seems like
it could be
at this point he might just be like, because when he came back, that's what he said. He just wants to help the new town. You know what I mean?
Because what I was talking to my brother about, because it says here, WWE contract expired, is now technically a free agent, and they're saying that I guess he didn't even make it a big deal that he wasn't intending to sign, which that sounds like something Bryan would do, right? Like, but I feel like because I don't know if you remember, you may not have been on that episode, but Daniel Bryan had talked about right before that triple threat match at Mania, he had like an out of body experience, like he thought he was gonna die.
Right.
And he like just felt so detached. So the fact that this is coming so soon after, I'm like, yo, he's like either he's pulling a Brian Pillman to get out the contract and you know what I'm saying, but I feel like he got scared thinking like, yo, there's still a lot of matches I want to have that I won't be able to have under WWE banner.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get out of here and get these matches done for myself. I need to be selfish for once. Like, I pray he don't go to New Japan because I don't want to see him die. But you know what I mean? But like,
you know, he should have gone to Japan. You have a dog at home, you can't be doing stuff.
I'm saying like I'm like freaking taking each dude. Forearms are just like,
man,
fuck, dude. Yeah, but I am interested to see where this goes because it's like, you know, if people don't think he's gonna sign with AEW, I think he may just be on the indies, bro. Like he might just do some shit. Because remember, he once said that back in the day where if they weren't gonna clear him for action, he was gonna leave and wrestle for PWG, wrestle for Japan. Like he was like already hitting these people up and shit. So I think it may be about that time. And honestly, if that's how he wants to, and it's his own right to how he's gonna end his career, right? So if this is how he's gonna do it, I ain't mad at him though. I mean, like, is there people I want to see him wrestle? Yeah, and he's still in good shape. Like he's still in his prime. He's changed his game so he doesn't have, like, I pray he doesn't keep doing the fucking diving headbutt, even though he continues to do it. I don't know why, but
that shit where he hit the knee in the corner and then flipped back on his own head. I'm like, bruh, relax.
I was like, I know you got mad texts from Bree, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh man. But yeah, I mean, so Daniel Bryan, I mean, it's weird. It's just weird. It's just, I mean, I think it's weird, but exciting. Cause like you said, I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know. And I think that's the cool part. Like whatever he want to do.
It is cool. Like when's the last time we didn't know what was going to happen?
Well, I was just about to say, I'm like, when has WWE been able to keep a secret? Like even their own people.
So that might not be a good sign that he's resigning, right? Because if he did resign, they might have put out a press. They might have done something. The fact that there's nothing being said, maybe he's leaving.
on either side.
I forgot who said it, but somebody said if they knew he was leaving, because even when they pointed out that even with when Dean Ambrose, when they knew he was leaving, they gave him a lot of like TV, and they had like a little doc, and it was kind of a little bit of a going away thing. Like, let's push Dean to the front before he gets out of it.
I think they were trying to sweeten the deal.
Do the opposite?
I think they were like,
but with the relationship that Bryan has had, he's never been a problematic dude. He's always been company first. He's always done whatever they needed. So I would suspect that he would get that Kobe tour like we talked about before. So if they knew he was leaving, they would put him to the front, let him get that last match, put somebody else over, have a genuinely good story. And push somebody else up before he gets out, because that seems like that's what he would.
Now that I think about it,
but you wouldn't do that if he's going to go to AEW, right? Like, if he's going to go to your competitor, why would you build him up?
I think
but you don't know what he's going to do.
Everybody, but I hear what you're saying, Baca, because they did it with Moxley, and they made that the mistake by building him up before he went in there,
and then he
which never happens, right? Yeah,
greatest thing ever. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're definitely not going to put the shine on Daniel fucking Bryan. Like, no, but like, it's because the one thing I forgot is, I don't know if you saw this, Johnny Gargano actually put up an old picture of them two fighting. You know what I mean? And he was
that was in Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah, he was like, it's been a while. ... And I was like, yo, to be honest, if Bryan were to come back but exclusively work with NXT talent, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, because me and my brother were naming, I'm like, him versus Pete Dunne, him versus Kushida. I'm like, yo, him versus Walter would be dope. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Him versus Ciampa. Gargano, of course, him versus Finn. I don't think he's even faced Finn before.
Him and Finn would be hard.
Him versus Karrion Kross, submission versus submission. Like, him versus Kyle O'Reilly, him versus Adam Cole. Like, he has a whole collection of different people he could actually like. He could actually do like a greatest hits, like you say.
Yeah.
This is the Daniel Bryan farewell tour. Yeah. Well, let me hit these. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And NXT would be hitting if Daniel Bryan pops up. I think this past NXT, they had the situation where the champion came out and all the contenders came out to meet him, and so it was like 5 guys in the ring or whatever, and they all in the champ clear house.
Yeah.
If they had a situation like that, and then Daniel Bryan music hit, bruh.
the Thunderdome would have to be reset. There'd be people on the modem. It'd be like, oh, what? Like that was the only thing I could think of. But then when I heard it was a legit expire, because I thought that was all this was to kind of, okay, he's going on Raw. And then I saw the tweet. I was like, oh, he's going to NXT. That's gonna be dope. And then I don't know, man. It's just
who knows? But that's why I said, like, I love it, because he's obviously not in a bad position. So it's good for him. Whatever he decides to do, best wishes to him.
And like you said, he ain't hurting for
fans, money. He's not hurting. So for us as fans, it's just exciting to see wherever he goes.
Yeah, what the next chapter is.
Regardless.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. You know what this reminds me of is like when AJ Styles left TNA.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he popped up in ROH in Japan. You're like, oh shit. Like, this guy's really going out there. And it's like, it is exciting. It's exciting times for sure, especially because it seems like things are opening up now. He can probably get on some of these shows, you know what I'm saying? It won't be a big deal, but
he can do a couple of one shots here and there before.
I was gonna say, like, he don't necessarily need to be like, I mean, as funny as it is, like, I could even see him doing a quick shot for NWA versus like Nick Aldis or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it'll be dope. And I think, like you said, he's like kind of universally loved, where like he can open some doors that other people probably couldn't, as far as opportunities to get some stuff done. But I only got 2 more topics for you guys. I just want to address it quickly. First, this is more of a statement. Throwback SmackDown was not Throwback SmackDown in any way at all.
It was like a mesh of so many different generations, right?
Dude, what got me was, I was like, why y'all playing like the 80s, early 90s stuff when SmackDown didn't come into like it was way before SmackDown. So I was like, yo, like
I don't get how such a big company can make these mistakes all the time, dude. Like, why would it
all the time?
It just didn't make sense to me. And but you know what they would say? They're like, oh, we said it was a throwback. I'm like, you guys created something that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not throwback. Exactly.
We've never seen SmackDown with the old school golden era logo. I was like,
never. That didn't exist.
Like, bro, we couldn't even get like the old school like SmackDown. Like, oh, this is this guy, and this is what he's done. Like, we can't get none of that. Like, I'm like, okay, like I'm not expecting y'all to bring out the big ass fist y'all got at the warehouse. But I thought it was cool.
But why not? Why not? Why not do it? If you say this is throwback.
No, you know what? No, you're right, because look at all that shit they brought in for the Firefly Funhouse match.
And look, and my thing is this: we didn't ask you to do a throwback.
Nobody did.
So if you know you're gonna do a throwback,
and you know
what? Go pull the fist out and put the fist up top. Instead of the digital version that was moving when the
exactly, man.
That was better. I'll admit, I was better than nothing, but I was like, nah, man. I was like, we can't even get the big old. Like
they tried to do commercials. They did
Ico Pro.
Ico Pro commercials, but that's from the 80s.
Yeah.
There was no SmackDown.
Never.
I'm 32. I'll be 32 in June. I remember very specifically what commercials were on during that era.
Oh, 100%.
Early 2000s, bro.
Chef Bar ID, Belly Boys, put them through a table.
If I didn't see a Built to Last, Duralast commercial, then it doesn't.
Like yo, if they would have showed a Karate Fighters commercial, I'm like, come on, guys.
Karate Fighters, bro. What was the other joint? The other toy, it had a very specific song. Hold on.
I can't.
But anyway, there were certain sounds and certain commercials that they could have put in to make it feel like 1999 through 2002 if they wanted to do a throwback. You know what I'm saying? Even with the W, they had the big bold WW
bro sign.
Instead of the electric
the scratch the scratch logo
right before. Remember the Get the F Out shirts. That's when that happened.
Bro, like,
so,
I remember
they should have put those up.
I remember when The Rock, he was there on the premiere. Like
that was it.
It was weird. And then I got even another question. It's like
they should have done a WWE New York commercial. That would have been funny. But
if they really wanted to do it, they should have put an N64 commercial for WWF 2000 on the N64. That would have sealed the deal.
Bro. Or they could have done.
That's why I get frustrated. Why did three guys think about this? But they have a company that has thousands of employees, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. It can't all be Vince McMahon's fault. I know we all want to play Vince. It can't all be Vince McMahon's fault.
No, dude, like that's why, like, even with like that trash bag gate stuff, I'm like, I mean, yeah, he's running a business, but he doesn't see all aspects of it. You know what I mean?
He didn't say just dump in the trash bag.
So I'm sure he's hired a few dirtbags he don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. It's weird, but like yo, they should have had a SmackDown video game commercial or something, right? Or they could have done the new 2K, like they could have done like a SmackDown version of the new 2K.
But promote the new 2K, but make it look like SmackDown.
Yeah, y'all could have bought a lot of points with that.
That would have been hard. That would have been so hard.
Like, where the fuck was Edge though? Like, how was Edge not on this episode?
They did the one Edge with Hulk Hogan.
Who's Edge supposed to be at? He still just hasn't been seen since Mania, right?
Nah, think about it. Like
wrestling, so I have to ask these.
No. I was gonna say no. You're right. He hasn't been seen, but I was like, I mean, does that mean he goes back to Raw now or what? I mean, I don't know, man.
I'm sure he's not gonna pump up for a few months, man. You know.
I remember.
I just feel like if they're gonna do it, if you say that, like, they didn't tell us that this was gonna happen until like a week before.
Expectation is too high when you say that.
So don't say that until you get it like ironed out, like perfect. Like bring the fist. Get some old school commercials. You know what would even been dope if they would have shot one of the old commercials with the talent that they have now.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because they had Teddy Long there. You still got guys like Ziggler and The Miz who are still around. They could have reshot shot for shot an old commercial and with guys at their ages now.
I mean,
put that in for 30
put a little disclaimer like no longer for sale or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but just for nostalgia.
But purposes. I mean, because like I wasn't mad at the Teddy Long thing, but I was like, we really didn't get anything else. We just got
really
Teddy. You know,
it wasn't really worth nothing.
And then the other thing was like, why is Pat Mack dressing like Vince from the 80s?
Yeah.
I didn't mind Michael Cole going back to the jean shirt.
He had the jean on. I appreciated that.
That's so bad, man.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I can't believe
I appreciated that.
Yeah. But I was like, why is it? You know, I was like, all right, whatever.
Also, now that I'm thinking, bro, they should put me on the creative team. Because now that I'm thinking about it.
You and Brian, we're about to lose two of them. We're about to lose
Bailey,
two.
Bailey always has this rivalry with Michael Cole, right? She's always talking shit to him. Remember when The Rock used to always diss Michael Cole?
Yeah.
Or anybody for that matter. Yeah. So Bayley should have came out, cut her promo like she did, but she should have put her T-shirt.
I was just
Michael
about
Cole's
to say,
face,
especially because she's already like using the know your role model.
Yeah,
she already got the you know your role model.
It's right there. Man, it's right there.
Yeah. Fuck, man, lost opportunities, bro.
Opportunities.
Shit's crazy. I mean, Jimmy's back, Joe. We do got Jimmy's Uso back. I ain't gonna lie. The fact I was watching the show and I was immediately, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like I was out like vocally out loud. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like I was just so like, God, what a miss. And then all of a sudden, I hear they bring out
1 second
Jimmy Uso, and I'm like, yo, is Uso back? And I'm just jamming to the music and shit. And I was like. But when I saw him come out with that day one shirt, I was like, oh, Uso's about to mess some shit up. I was like,
no, you know, it's funny. My sister said, like, she was like, damn, they couldn't give him an updated shirt. Like,
that shit did look faded, right? I was sitting up there, I was like, is that the shirt that he got choked out in? Like,
that's the very last shirt he had.
Like, word over. He's like, oh, this is the last shirt I wore on TV. Yeah. But I was like, oh, you grew the hair back. I was like, okay, I ain't mad at this. But it was weird because him and Jay were like just hype, and then Roman's just like, all right, man, chill.
Yeah.
He's like, what's going on? What's going on, cuzzo?
And then and then at the end when he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna be talking to me like you talk to my brother. Jay. And I ain't a little bitch.
I was like, oh, I'm like, okay.
And that's what back to my earlier point. Wrestling is very hot and cold. There's really not a middle ground right now. Like there's stuff that I am absolutely tuning in for. And then there's stuff that I'm like, I don't care at all.
Oh yeah, I'll fast forward if I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one of the things. Like literally last night we were watching. I was like, okay, Roman and them had a segment, but I knew there was more to it. Shout out to Instagram for spoiling it for people on the West Coast.
Always.
But I knew there was more to it, so I kept watching. And then Bianca had her segment, so I was like, okay, Bianca's segment is over, but there's still at least one more Roman and the Usos, so let me watch. And then once that was over, I was like, all right, I'm done. Because I was like, there's nothing.
Wait,
the roster.
You ain't watched the 10-man tag team match.
For what, bro?
Yeah.
For what?
Bro, okay, so when he first said that, I'm like, yo, did this fool just book a 5-on-2 handicap? At first, right? I was like, what are we doing here? And then it's like, what's the Undertaker? I'm like, no. I was like, hold up, don't start saying it. Don't pronounce it all proper now. You was Undertaker before, and all of a sudden you got your seat back to the hard urge. You know what I mean? But I wasn't mad at what they were doing as far as weaving the storytelling in and out the episode between him and Jay. Because I was like, yeah, finally we can get the tag team. You know, so with the tag team, I'm like, ooh, he's trying to do it without Uso. Though. I'm like, I don't know, Roman ain't gonna go for that. I'm like, the package is complete, but y'all fucking it up. Like, man. So of course I was excited, me being a twin. I was like, hell yeah. But one thing I had to bring up before we get out of here, man. I don't know if Baka caught it. Because I think usually you got shows on Wednesdays, don't you, Baka?
Yep. I'm doing my thing. What's up?
Blood and Guts.
Whew, I didn't watch Blood and Guts, but I saw that fall.
That's all I
saw that fall on the mattress.
So yeah, so that's where me and Doc have been split on that. He didn't think it was that bad. Like we argue, I'm like, well, what makes it worse is the fact that you got the commentators selling like, oh, he's trying to throw him on that concrete stage. I'm like,
don't say that.
Concrete don't stage. Say that. When they start making stages out of concrete, hold up. And then you see that I'm like, okay, are we not supposed to do a fat joke about Jericho as he? Because what I said was like, because what I told Doc, I was like, so what we're just supposed to believe that he's Hancock, like Will Smith coming back into orbit and just landing on the, you know what I mean, just smashing everything. I was like, bro, like that was the only thing for me. The match I didn't mind. But my biggest thing was there was way too many camera cuts and not enough camera cuts. So when I say that, I mean they were doing camera cuts for shit that didn't matter, and then there would be other shit going on simultaneously that they weren't cutting the camera to. And I'm like, yo, all of a sudden, old boy's bleeding. What happened? I want to know what happened. You know, so I feel like granted, first time filming this, so I feel like it was going to be a learning experience for them anyways, filming with the cage on top and all that shit. So
yeah.
It was what it was, man. I mean, like I said, that fall was the only thing. Like, I don't know if Baka may have saw it, but I posted that footage of Vince McMahon showing Gronk how to fall on the mat. I was like, that's how it was. I was like, that's like, I don't know. I mean, do you think that, like my brother was saying, like, do you think that MJF might cut a promo to like smooth it out like they did with the exploding barbed wire match? But
I hope they don't.
I hope so too. I hope that they don't either, because I was like, y'all drawing more attention to it is worse.
Yeah, it doesn't make it better. There's nothing you can really say that's going to make it better.
Because there's people that were saying like that it was a bad image for the industry. Like that's a quote for that match. I was like, fuck.
It is a bad image for the industry, because you have non-wrestling fans look at that and say and make fun of people like us who have a podcast discussing stuff like that. It is.
I blame Jericho, to be honest, because Jericho, like all of last year, he was like the reason why people would be like, oh, what's Jericho doing? Isn't he a wrestler? What's this thing he's doing? Oh, why is he so fat? Like he was like a magnet for negative attention for AEW last year. It was ridiculous, but you know,
you gotta blame Jericho for that. You gotta blame the set designer. That's awful,
bro. Man. Like because when I was telling my brother, I'm like, I don't know if it's necessarily the set designer or whoever's doing the special effects. I'm like, they need to find an entirely different way to do these, because I don't know if you remember when like a couple of weeks ago, to build up to this, like Wardlow powerbomb Jericho off the stage, and it was almost the same thing. Like you saw like the air coming out of his sides when he landed. You know, it was like, bro, like y'all gotta hide. Like okay, like it's different if we're at Universal Studios watching the Waterworld show. You know he's a stuntman. You don't want him to get hurt. But we're buying into this shit. So as soon as you concrete, I'm like, wait, what? And then boom, I was like, oh, this is like I don't know if y'all ever seen Step Brothers. Like, oh, the tuxedos are fucked up now. Like, fuck. Yeah,
and I think that is the biggest difference between the two right now. As far as performers, you kind of pick your favorites based on where they're at, and you watch the shows that have the guys that you want to see. But as far as TV production, WWE has that in the bag.
Yeah, like, spades. They know, dude.
They know how
cameras,
to put it,
bro.
Yeah, they know how to put it together in a way to hide all those issues. Now that being said, that shaky cam gets on my god. Damn.
Oh, every time, yeah.
My God.
It's funny because you'll watch like a promo video they put together, and they'll show something. You're like, yo, it wasn't that nice though. Like they showed Uso
dead spaces.
Yeah, bro. They showed Jay. They showed Jay hit that super kick on Cesaro. I'm like, it did not look that flush last week, and I was like, but y'all shake the camera.
It did not look that good.
The movie.
Well, I think WWE still makes a lot of mistakes. I think there's just way too much cutting of cameras, going from this camera to this camera.
They do
camera.
That.
They do.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, if it's like Randy hitting a punt kick, understandable.
Yeah,
but if it's like
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some times where like, I mean, but there have been times where they didn't switch camera and you're like, ooh, she just punched the air. Like, that was kind of bad.
But you would never see Jericho landing in a bed of pillows. There was a there was a situation, I think it was Kevin Owens. He jumped off of something, swantoned off of something, and he landed in a similar situation. Yeah. It was like that, but they showed him jump.
Oh yeah, they showed it from the top.
Falling,
yeah.
And then they cut to him hitting, but it was over here, and you didn't see the actual impact. And then after the dust clears, they cut to the close cam of everybody coming in checking on him.
Oh, so was that when he went against Seth Rollins?
It might have been
when he Mania.
You don't see him hit it and it
jumped off the side.
You see the plunge
like a Klondike bar.
That's also what they did for the Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon fell to 50 feet when he was going against Steve Blackman. It was a fall race shot. You saw him fall, and then they did the close-up shot. And they had to around again.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like they haven't used a crash pad before. I mean, I think what Shane versus Miz actually did. They did that huge superplex spot into one, right?
Yep.
Man, I don't know how I remember this shit now. But yeah, you know, some stuff is forgivable.
But it's a way to dress it up.
Yeah, because like I don't know
why you're shooting it like that, but we appreciate you like shooting it like that.
Did you guys see Shayna Baszler's tweet about it?
No, I didn't.
She wasn't specific with it, but she said, you know, we don't want a village to be set on fire by a dragon and you know, in Game of Thrones, but if it happens, we hope that the special effects is gonna like make it legit, you know. Yep. So I'm like, you know what? That's not a hater comment at all. I totally get it. But Shotzi Blackheart though, she posted that GIF with I was like,
somebody falling on the bed.
I was like, damn. And then I was like, Darby Allin called. He wants his coffin drop back. But yeah, man, I just had to get your guys' opinion on it because, like I said, I was.
But AEW is a new company. It is a new company. They're still trying to figure. Like we talked about WWE being so good at this stuff, but they've been doing it for years.
And like you said, like we still point out the mistakes they make.
Exactly.
But I guess. Oh, let me ask you this, Baca. Like, how long do we give? Like, what's the consideration to give AEW before to allow them like rookie mistake, first year mistake, 2 year mistake?
1 more week. We give them 1 week to figure it out.
I feel that. I mean, they got an action-packed card next week, so we'll see how it goes.
It's always going to be mistakes, man.
Yeah.
It's always going to be mistakes. Yeah. I think what happens is we talk about it for as long as we feel it, and then we move on. Because we saw that, but nobody's going to not watch. Nobody's going to not watch next week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And honestly, that's been the case since WWE. Like, they'll do something totally stupid, and you're like, I need to know how the hell they're going to write this wrong.
We come right back.
I need an explanation. Don't get it. But
crackheads we are.
Yeah. You're like, God damn it. You know what it is too? Is because they kind of leave it where it's like, we're gonna do something shitty, but they're gonna tune in and watch this guy get his ass kicked, and we're never gonna give it to him. And like, fucking the rat and the cheese and the maze bullshit, man. But that's all I got, man.
Forever.
Like I said, I just want to get your guys' opinion on the blood and guts, and obviously there was some other stuff with Daniel Bryan and whatnot. I ain't got nothing else, man. I mean, actually, Eva Marie's back.
Yeah, the internet went on fire, man.
So like you said,
that was the most talked about thing.
So tell me why.
You don't got nothing else.
I don't understand why people are so like, she ain't never done nothing. Like does she look good? Yeah. But like, so does everybody on their roster. That's half the reason why they hire him. But the fact that she's like, I'm doing a comeback. I'm like, what have you done?
I saw something that somebody said, "Oh, that job could have gone to somebody else." But that's not how it works. It's not.
No, it's not how
they works. They have enough money to hire more than one person.
That could have been something that was already in the works before, or people would be like,
they said she's been hired for a long time now.
Other people would be like, well, timeline wise, they had to get rid of they had to make some room to pay her, so they got rid of 9 guys and girls.
That's not how that works, bro. Yeah, they make their plans for the whole year.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
For the most part, they know what they want to do.
Sometimes they do it 2 hours before the show.
Money-wise, 100%. When it comes to show, I've heard Vince changing his mind an hour before the show, just rewrite everything.
She was already in the budget, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? She was already in the budget.
Shit, hey, WWE, let me get on the budget. Yeah, you got to show me on TV. I'll just, let me just, I'll kick it with Josiah. We'll just come up with some bars.
I have so many good ideas.
No lie. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, if they take away Brian and Mac Lowe, we're for sure going to implode Baca because this is not going to survive on our.
Well, I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. Mac Lowe is an official member of the podcast now.
We did bring it up last week, but yeah, we got Mr. Mac Lowe.
Yes, sir.
To an exclusive, lucrative deal. No third party.
No third parties, bro. I'm locked in.
Listen, I think I'm holding you guys back. I was on last episode. You guys went 2 hours, man. Just you and Brian.
Okay, so
just talking wrestling for 2 hours.
I wasn't gonna bring this up on the episode. I was gonna bring it up, but not on camera. I did not intend to talk that long. Like I ran. Like my topics were done, and I thought I don't know if you can see. I was trying to I'm like, oh, okay, we got a lot more to talk about because I thought it was gonna be a one and done, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I look, I'm like, holy fuck, it's 2 hours.
2 hour episode, crazy.
Man.
2 guys, 2 hour episode.
Oh, but we had a really good conversation.
Yeah, no,
it was just about like Vince.
How much Vince McMahon sucks.
Well, just the fact that it's weird that he allowed a certain level of creative freedom that worked, and then now it's just so micromanaged and
tight.
So it's like we were just kind of theorizing if Triple H is taking this over, do we see maybe a return of that, maybe a little bit looser chain, so to speak, where they'll let people try stuff and not have to like, well, I don't know if I can, it's their TV, I don't want to lose my job or never be on TV again, and it's like, man, y'all got like what, 5 shows, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I don't understand either. When you have like MVP had 2 interviews on my
I did. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you use that time slot for somebody else? You have so many wrestlers. You have so many airtime. I never understand why somebody would need to be on TV twice, unless it's like a Roman Reigns or like the Usos doing that storyline.
Storyline. Yeah.
And then he said the same thing on the interview that he said the first time. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird because then you also see like do we really need to see Matt Riddle with Randy Orton more than once?
Bro, 3 times is way too much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, we're getting the same thing every single time. It's just like, oh, these must be 3 different takes, I guess. I don't know, but
yeah, I don't get it.
But yeah, that's all I got, man, for wrestling this week, man. I want to thank y'all for obviously always taking time out, entertaining my my topics here as we talk. Baka, let them know about any shows and tours. I mean, you always got some opportunities on the table. Let them know what's going on.
Yeah, man. Some of the big stuff we have coming up. May 14th, we have Javon Artest, the Meta Award piece coming through for our celebration event. We do it every Friday. May 21st, we have Terry Kennedy coming through to host a big party. We're at Venice Beach every single Sunday. We are flying somebody to New York City. All expenses paid. Pay for your food, your flight, your hotel. Interview on Hot 97 before in Brooklyn, before Manhattan, and we'll be in Chicago in 2 weeks. And we are keeping the train moving, man. We're doing big things, man. Young Baka Productions at Young Baka, and this is my favorite part of my week, man. I appreciate it. You guys rock with us.
Is Terry doing music, or you say he's hosting?
He's hosting. He might do a couple songs, but he does have some rap.
He did some music. Yeah, I thought he did.
But we've hired him to host, which is, dude. You know, I growing up with a
he said no, we hired him to host.
Dirty Ghetto Kids was the coolest. Yeah. Dirty Ghetto Kids was the coolest thing ever, man. And the fact that, you know, he's coming hanging out, it's awesome, man.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's got to be that's got to be dope for you, man, because
it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
I mean,
we also have Don on 15th. I gotta say that as well.
Man. Hey, so what is he? Because is he still Dipset affiliated?
No, he's not. He's not Dipset no more. Algalad Don has been in every single rap set in the country, so you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, because
Algalad Don drives me nuts. He's crazy, but he's a talented artist. He's a super talented artist, man. Rakim was performing at Los Globos. There were so many different rappers on the stage, and he made sure he put up Algalad to the stage, just gave him his flowers, and said, you know, this man right here, he's one of the illest. You guys need to show him his respect. And he's been down with us a lot.
We ain't going against the God, man. You know what I'm
man.
Like,
and then also I want to say, May 22nd, we have Flowers, a new show we're doing. We're giving people the flowers while they're still living. The first one we have Noah James, Mescal, and Welcome. That's gonna be at the Candy in the 818 all ages event. So you know we're doing things, man. We're busy.
Well, what is that? Is that like a live music?
It's a show. Those 3 guys are headlining. Flowers. You know, we don't want to wait till somebody's gone to say, hey, this guy's an amazing MC. This guy's dope. Starting every month, we're going to acknowledge 3 different individuals that we think are doing an amazing thing in the community, in the scene, and and the first one we jumped off with Noah James, Mescal, and Welcome. So I'm excited, man.
Mescal, he rolls with is it the River?
East of the River, yep.
Yeah. Yep. I was about to say, definitely sounds familiar. I was interested. James, I was interested to see what the kind of show that was. Because I saw, I didn't know if you guys were doing it at B-side and like doing interviews or something, how that goes. But
nah, man, live show, man. Got 3 different headliners. It's gonna be awesome, man.
That's what's up, man.
And hopefully one day we'll get Quincy on the show.
I would love to do a show. It's just, I mean,
you're always welcome. You're always welcome to just pull up.
I'm 1 shot away, so I got my next vaccine next 2 weeks, so don't trip. Yeah, you never see me with a mask.
That's good. That's awesome.
Well, no, originally I got it because I was gonna fly out, believe it or not, to try to make Double or Nothing, but when I saw that
you don't need a vaccine to get on a plane. That's what everyone keeps telling me. They say, "Oh, I'm going to Vegas, so I need to get my vaccine." You want to get your vaccine? That is dope. More power to you. Let's keep everyone safe. But you don't have to get a vaccine. You don't have to get a vaccine.
I've been on like 3 planes without it, bro.
Since COVID started, I've been on 12 different planes. Go to 12 different cities, and I've never.
The thing is like we know coyotes all over the world.
So. That is a good point. That is.
No, but like I mean, I kept hearing that people had to present their stuff and all this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
Well, absolutely, I mean, even after that, I was flying to Florida, so I definitely would like preferably to
you should probably get strapped up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should probably get a couple shots if you go to Florida.
Yeah, exactly. I might have to get tetanus just in case, you know, get that booster. But honestly, like the airline tickets just went so sky high again. I was like,
no, 170 starting to open up again. Yeah,
I'm like, I'll ask for the day off and watch it from home for free. Thank you very much.
When is Double or Nothing?
That's May 30th on the Sunday. That's I think Memorial Day weekend.
Yep, it's awesome.
But yeah, man, Mac Low, you got anything?
Nah, man, it's Mac Low, aka Macho Mac Cali Savage.
Oh,
follow me on everything. MACLOWE on everything, man.
Wave God, you know, he gonna have some tutorials on how to, you know, keep that lusciousness in check. And you know, happy birthday to the nephew, man. Happy birthday to the nephew.
Happy
bro.
birthday to Sonny, man. I'll be out there in a minute, about an hour.
There you go. Just gave him the rub on the Flow Show. You know what I'm saying? Love it, man. Hey, man, y'all are always A1 in my book, man. It was always a great time getting together with you guys. Hopefully we can get the first official 4-man, you know what I mean? No 3-man with a special guest. Nah. It's gonna be Voltron coming together. Oh, I didn't tell you. We're called the Flow Horsemen.
Hey, that's dope.
I forgot. I said that off the cuff, and Brian, like right when we were about to sign off, Brian's like, I like that. I was like, I'm gonna let him know. We'll figure it out.
Horseman. That's hard.
But man, next week we'll see y'all. Until then, for the love of wrestling, we out.